joins. Okay, why joins are required. Okay, so for example, if you have a customer details, you have payment details, and if you want to fetch which customer paid what and what revenue did we made, based on that we need to connect two tables. Okay, or I can say which customer rented which film and how much did he pay. Okay, so because one table has a customer details and another table has a payment details, right? When you connect these two tables, table 1 and table 2, you will get that required result, so that you can take a call how much is pending and who has paid what and all that. Okay, then you can build your strategy and all on top of it, and then you can see how you want to take it with the business plans. And yeah, so that day I remember we did only one, and we also learned about table alias. One- one- yeah, we learned about table alias as well. So today we'll just brush up joins, table alias, and then we'll start with inner join. And if time persists, we'll also practice left join. Okay, so these joins are very important, because if your uh, I mean fundamentals are clear with the joins. Okay, inner join, what does it do? Okay, it doesn't join all the columns. Okay, so you need to understand based on the definition of the joins. Okay, inner join, left join, self join. Then you have full outer join, followed by cross, natural, and union all. Okay, and what is table alias? If you recall, it's a uh, pseudonym that we create. Okay, temporary name, because in real time when you see your table name, right, it will be with a lot of information, like uh, business unit code, location code. Based on that, they will create a table. Okay, it will be very gibberish. Okay, you don't recall. So see, in the real time, whatever we are learning here, like tables like customer tables, actor tables, and all, right. If you see in your database in Postgres, you have a very meaningful, I mean, very easy to memorize those names, right? But in real time, you will not find those kind of names. Okay, it will be always with some gibberish name, with the location code and all that. Okay, and when we create a table alias, so how does it help? Okay, it will create a temporary short name for a table. Okay, that we can use it inside our query, instead of every time you see. What happens is, when you have a lengthier name, right, it will definitely increase your script also. Okay, the code that you're writing, when you're writing your code, it will also increase. Okay, and it will be very confusing. That is the reason we have table alias, and this is mostly used by in the joins concepts. Okay, you can use it as a in a subquery also. So we have another class after join, subqueries. So subqueries is like writing another statement within one statement. Okay, you will write multiple statement within one statement. Like we write select star from film, right? So inside that select star from film, you can write select, then you will write within bracket, you will write select star from actor and movie. Okay, both way you can pull the information, but that is a little different when we talk about the joins. Okay, So the topic is subqueries are different. So the purpose of subqueries are different from joins. We'll come to that uh, when we touch base on those topics. Okay. Now joins and table alias, you are clear, right? So why we use table alias is it improves the readability. Okay, and it makes your queries shorter. Okay, in real time the table name will be very big. Okay, those who have worked right on SQL or Oracle or any, so if you see the table name, sometimes it will be very gibberish with some number, some characters and all, right? So that's a code. So that is a code they will maintain. They will not give customer detail, payment detail. No, they'll add some location wise, because if you know nowadays with this cloud environment, right? So you have different. I mean, if you see Amazon, it is supporting worldwide, right? So they might have one a database that is maintaining, or it is serving for Asia Pacific, one Europe, okay, one for Japan and that area, okay, and one complete US, right? So what they will do is they'll add some table alias or table name. They will, when they create, they will give some different name, location wise, US underscore. If it is a server instance, this is the first instance of the SQL server. They will add 01. Okay, that's a short code they will use. Okay, location. If you have 10 location in US, what is this location or data center name or number? They will write those information for table names. Okay. So in simple, it improves readability and makes your query shorter. Okay. We have seen those examples. So let me go back to my Postgres. Okay. Let me joins. Okay. So we have done some. We'll just refresh all those things and then we will go with the next topics. Okay. So I'll write the date. Okay. I'll just go, just copy the same one. Okay. Now you see what I'm selecting here is see here C dot first name. Okay. So I'm taking abbreviation of customer C, or you can take CUS or whatever. It's up to you. Okay. So I'll take simple one letter C, first name, last name, rental date from customer table, and this is the alias. Okay, so you have to give a space and then you have to give a C, okay, or whatever name you want. And then what I'm doing is I'm joining. This is a simple join. Which table I'm joining? Rental R. Okay, this is the alias name of R. On which column you are adding? So C dot customer ID is equal to R dot customer ID. This customer ID should be there. If it is not there, it will throw an error. If I, for example, I'll just type S here. Okay, or first I'll show you from customer. Okay, now you see customer ID is the first column which is there, which is unique, and it's a primary key. Okay, so this has this many columns. Okay, so you have to always choose which is unique here. Okay, so you know this is a primary key. You cannot have duplicate value. You cannot have null value here. Okay, and redundant numbers. Okay, so What that means is you have all unique values here. So I picked up here. Okay, so same thing, I'll do it for rental. Okay, let's just take a look at the table. Rental, select star from rental. So rental, do we have customer ID? Because see, if you see here, I am joining this table with customer ID, so you have to make sure this column is existing. Okay, or it exists in the other table, then only it will connect. If I say inventory ID, it will throw an error. Okay, I'll show you. Or I'll take rental ID. Okay, so rental ID is a unique PKUC primary key column in rental table. Okay, so I'll just run it. I want to join and I want to fetch the report. Okay, now it has come. Okay, why? Because now if you see first name, last name, and rental date, it has picked up only the first table. It has not picked up the second table because this and this is not matching. That is the reason you now you see the records 598. Okay, so this is a wrong detail. Okay, wrong, sorry, wrong column that we have picked. I'll just pick the customer ID from here. Now you'll see the difference. So it says customers. Okay. This see, yeah. Even if the column name is not matching, it will give you some error message, something like this. Okay. This ID does not exist. Then you go back to the customer table and see how it is spelled there. Okay. So this one I just made a change, right, for testing. So okay. Now I have the rental last name, first name. Even if you see first before we got only records 598 or 568. Now you see 16,044. Okay, so always make sure this whatever the ID you're choosing on table 1 has to be on table 2 with the table. Okay, same column. Otherwise it will give you will not get any error, but you'll get a less rows. Okay, you have to make sure this one. Okay, how many rows you are getting and all that. This is very important, guys. Okay, when you are joining the tables. Okay, now we'll see the inner join. This is the basic one that we did last week also. So I'll do now inner join. Okay, now what inner join definition says? Okay, what inner join does is it will return only matching rows. Okay, now you remember matching rows. Okay, I'll write down the definition also. Matching rows. Okay, rows means you says just assume you have first name and another table has first name. Okay, whatever it is matching, if there is a Tommy, Manuel, Morel, last name and first name it is matching, then only it will show. If it is Manuel and something else here, it is not matching, right? It will not show. Okay, so inner join will return only matching rows. When you want to, when you will validate this, when you want to find out the total numbers or how many sales we did based on this, that you will match the tables. Okay, you will use inner join. Okay, so the definition is returns matching rows from both tables. Okay, this is the definition, both tables, not one table, this is both. Okay, this word. I don't know whether I can do a bold here. No. Okay, we don't have text editor here, so okay, that's fine. Okay, I have written this in the PPT. Okay, it's already there, you have to go through it. Okay, and I'll share the PPT this week also because I have made some changes. Okay, so I'll share the link also to you guys on your G drive, so you can refer from there as well. Okay. So inner join returns matching rows from both table. So we have concept like left, right. Okay. So it will do left and right only matching rows, something like that. Okay. I'll explain those definitions. So first, let's do some hands-on. Okay. What is the syntax here? I'll write down the syntax here. Okay. 1 minute. I'll just put this statement in comment. Two dash means two hyphen means say, comment in SQL. Okay. When it turns into green, that means even if you run this, you will not get any error. Okay. Now if I remove this, okay, if I select and run it, you will see an error. Okay, syntax error or something. So always whenever you want to write some meaningful comments to your query or something, you have to make sure you put that in comments. Okay, now I'll just give you the rough idea. Select columns. Okay, now columns could be anything. Okay, from table 1. Okay, select column from table 1, then I'll write inner join. These are two separate letters. Okay, inner join, then I want to connect with table 2. Okay, and then I'll write my condition. On which condition? Table 1 versus table 2, which column I want to connect. Okay, so this condition. This is the syntax. Okay, this is the syntax. Okay, I'll write now one query. So we'll practice on DVD rental. I'll take the customer and rental. Okay, I'll take the two table, rental table, tables from DVD rental database. So what I'm going to write is select. I'll take customer as C. Okay, so I will say C dot first underscore name, comma C underscore last name. Okay, so sorry, not underscore, it's C dot. Okay, I'm giving a reference here, so otherwise this will throw an error. Last name is done, and I will take R dot rental underscore date. Okay, from which table? From first table is customer, customer, and this is the alias I'm giving as C. Okay, and then I'll write join inner join which table? Rental with the R. R is a alias for this table called rental, because I have already reference here, right? So you can give any name, guys. It's I mean RT or whatever, but just make sure you have to change here also RT. Okay. So inner join rental. Okay. Now if you recall, we have something called on condition. Our syntax is on which condition you want to query. So I'll say on, then I'll say C dot uh, customer ID. Okay. So in C, C stands for customer table, right? So customer, what do we have? We have one column called customer ID equals rental or I have customer ID. Customer underscore ID. Okay. So let's run and see. So it says, oh sorry, rental date, not data. Oh sorry. Okay. Rental date. Okay. Now I have 16,044. Okay. Now what does I see here? Okay. If a customer has no rental, they are excluded. Okay. If a customer has no rentals, okay, for example, this is blank, they are excluded. Okay, so that is the meaning of using this. Okay, and we can also most commonly use joins. Okay, this also we can say most commonly used joins. Okay, now quickly let's understand the next topic, which is left join. Okay, these are very topics that you have to practice. Left join. Okay, or we can say left outer join. Okay, now first understand what does it do. So left, like here you can see we are using something called left join. So that includes, it returns all rows. Okay, it returns all rows from a left table. Okay, and matching rows from the right table. Okay, I will write down here. Okay, returns all rows from the left table. Okay, left table, and matching rows from the right table. Okay, and whatever the unmatched rows are there, okay, that will be null. Okay, so syntax is same. Okay, I'll take the previous one, syntax, this one. Okay, only thing is wherever we have inner join, we have to say left join. Syntax is same. Okay, left join. Okay, and we'll just practice one or two here. Okay, I'll take the same thing. Okay, and here instead of inner join, I'll say left join. Okay, first let me run this and see the result. Okay, we have some 16,044. Okay, now we'll practice the same on other table. Okay, just save this. What we're going to do is, yeah, first we need ERD. Where is ERD? Huh. Okay, now we'll take two tables. Okay, rental we have already done, and customer. Okay, so you can see there is a relationship. Okay, there is a relationship happening there. So okay, now what we'll do is, we will look at customer and payment. Okay, now customer, if you see here, the key, this donates a primary key. So we have customer ID here. Okay, and do we have customer ID here? Yes, we do have customer ID. Okay, but here in payment ID is the primary, but it has to match with the other table. If you have payment ID here, uh, payment ID we don't have, so it will not work. Okay, you have to match this column, the primary key here unique with the foreign key. Do we have foreign key here? Customer ID? Yes. So we'll do some changes to our query and we'll fetch. Okay, so this table is called payment and this table is called customer. Coming back to our practice, okay, or you can do simple is select star from payments. Okay, just take a look at tables. Payment. Okay, okay, so I have these tables. Okay, so what table I need? So I'll just build my query here. Okay, so I'll say, oh, okay, I need customer also. 1 minute. Okay, now this is my customer table. Okay, here I have all this details. Okay, so I'll say here c dot first name. Okay, I'll take the first name, last name I'll take, and I need active boolean. How many are active here? Okay, then I'll do some changes here. So I'll say c dot, because this active boolean, whatever we see here, active bull uh, column name here, this is part of customer table. So you have to say c dot active bool. Okay, and reference should be for the customer. Okay, and we'll take some other one, created store id, address id. Okay, we'll take this one only for now. Okay, now I'll go to the payment table. I'll go to the payment table. In payment table, what are the things I need? Okay, I have to make changes here called, instead of rental I have to say payment. I'll use P as the alias. Okay, and here I'll say P. Okay, so customer ID is here in payment table. So P dot customer ID, C dot customer ID. Okay, and what are the tables I need? Here I have payment ID, customer ID, self ID, rental ID, and amount. Okay, so I'll use something called some other field here. I'll say P dot rental ID, rental ID, comma, P dot amount. Okay, so I'll take P dot amount, this column and this column. Okay, you have to practice guys like this only, then just looking at my queries it will not help you understand. Anyway, I'm gonna give you tomorrow, day after tomorrow, other table, uh, Netflix, and then you can practice there also. Okay. Now I have how many rows? I have 14,596. So what it is doing, from left table, whichever are matching. If you go back to our definition, returns all rows from the left table. Which is the left table? How do you know? The table that you mentioned first. Select blah 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 from customer. This is your left table. Always remember, this is not your left table. This is the first statement that you are writing, from which table, whichever table you mention here, that stands as a left table. Okay, so as our definition says, returns all rows from the left table. So it is getting all rows. You can see duplicate values are Peter Menard. Okay, multiple times. He was how many times? Maybe, yeah, maybe he has rented this DVDs multiple times. That's okay. It's not a duplicate. You have to check the date also. Okay, so just to make sure, if you get confused here, you can add one more column called customer dot date, or if you have a table called date. Okay, So let me run this. Store ID, created date, last updated. Okay, last updated is a good. Created is something we are creating an account or something. Or I don't know whether uh, created date means the date he took the DVD rental. I don't know. Okay, we need to have a how do you call data dictionary. Then only we can understand that. Okay, timestamp without time zone. Okay, for now I'll take create date. Okay, rental date. I will add here this statement. Okay, table and I'll say because this table is in C customer table C dot what is this create date. Okay, now I'll run this query again. Okay, now you see I have a create date here. Okay, so this was created. See, if you see Peter Menard, true. Okay, but the dates are reflecting same day. Okay, but you see rental IDs are different. Okay, and the prices are different. So that means created date that doesn't make any sense here. Okay, so it should have date when you are renting a DVD and then when you return the DVD, right? It should capture those. Okay, but this is a dummy database. Maybe it is not properly created. This is all dummy. But in real time scenario, you have to verify all these things. Okay, if it is say for example in this case first record I have Peter, 5 records, six records I have Peter. Okay, if all the number are same 1520 and this is also 7.9, then we can assume we have a duplicate values. Okay, then we can use something called distinct for first name and last name, and then we can validate. Okay, we can add distinct for these two rows and then we can filter it out. Distinct we know, right? We learned about distinct to filter the unique rows. Okay, this is one example from uh, sorry, I clicked on from a different table. Okay, now so this is left join. Okay, now here what happens is every customer appears here in the list. Okay, customer with no rental null in rental column will be excluded. That is the beauty of join. Okay, so left join, you have to see what data you need from a left table and right table. Okay, you have to use this ERD, entity relationship diagram, and figure it out. See, right now we have just how many, four, 6 or 7 columns, right? In real time, you will have 100, 120. You have to jot down. Okay, so in real time, when you work on system, I mean database, right? Real time, you'll have a lot of columns. These are just for learning purpose. So we'll create one this week. Okay, which we called it as Netflix. Okay. Now, next topic we'll go through. Next topic is what? Left join, self join. Okay. Next one is self join. Okay. What is self join? Okay. It's a simple definition. A table is joined with itself. Okay. Now, what is the use cases of self join? When we have a hierarchical data, then comparing rows within the same table. Okay. Comparing a rows within the same table. I'll write down the definition here. Table is joined A table is joined within with itself. Okay, we'll see one example, then you will learn. Okay, so what is the syntax? Syntax is very simple. Okay, so okay, I'll write down one simple example. Select, I'll take s1 dot first name. Okay, because I'm using s1 as a self join alias. Okay, I'll explain that, and then I'll say okay s1 dot first name staff. Okay, staff, this is alias I'm using, staff underscore name. Okay, then I'll say s2 dot first name. Okay, as manager name. Okay, which table? From staff. Okay, so we have one table called staff, this table. Okay, so I am using the first name and last name. Okay, with the staff table. Okay, s1, and this whatever you see as staff name, this is the alias name for this. See, I cannot give first name and a manager name. Okay, so I'll show you the difference from staff table. Okay, and I want to give the reference as s1. Okay, so from staff table first name it will fetch because we are using alias here s1. Okay, and then I'll say uh, left join. Okay, left join, one minute, join, left join uh, staff s2. Okay, now you see in previous examples after from I used to use a different table here, but I'm using the same table, staff, staff. Okay, so self join means a table is joined with itself. Okay, so first let's look at the the table. Okay, what content we have and what we are trying to achieve here. Okay, so this is my table. Oh, we have only two records. Hmm, two records. Okay, 1 minute, I'll just double check. Table, stuff. Okay, so we have only two tables here. Sorry, two rows here. That's fine. Okay, this is just for our example, but I don't know. I'll validate this. Maybe I don't know. You guys can check on yours whether you. Oh, okay. Fine. Then okay. Okay. So second example, I'll show you with some other table. So first now, so this is left join, same table I'm self joining. Okay. So different columns. Okay. Now here, if you see, first name is there, customer names. These are customer names. Okay. Or staff name. Okay. And their manager name is this. Okay. Since it is not matching on S2, and then I will, okay, I'll do the matching on S1 dot reports underscore 2. Okay, reports underscore 2 equals S2 dot, we have staff ID, staff underscore ID. Let me run. So S2 dot first name as manager name. Yeah, this is not matching. I thought so. It is, because it is not matching here. Last picture. Okay, fine. I'll take a different table then. 1 minute. Country, address, and I have staff here. So let me see which one should I take to give you a good example. Last updated rental language ID. Staff. First name, last name, small, username, password. Maybe I think this is manager name. Maybe I guess. Okay. Username, right? Username. So here instead of first name, I can say user name as manager name. Staff reports to this one. Is to user name. Last updated username store ID. Okay, I think I'll take one more time. Film, right? Film, where is film? Yeah, film. So film rental duration small replacement rating, and then we have text. Okay. Let me try example with rental table. Sorry, film table. Okay. So film. So these are the columns and these are the rows 1000. Okay. Okay, got it. So we'll take title. Okay, we'll take title, and then we'll take rental also. Do we have rental here? Rental is there. Rental rate. Okay, we'll take this logic. Okay, let me write a query. So select, I'll take uh, F1 film. Okay, dot tit title. Okay, we have a title here. Title. Then I'll say alias as, I'll say film underscore one, comma. Then I'll say F2 dot title as film underscore two. Okay, this is another title. Alias, two alias I'm creating, comma. Then I'll say F1. Okay, F1, first one. F1 dot what I want is rental duration, rental rate. Yeah, I'll take rental rate. Rental rate. Okay, three tables I took. From which table I want to refer here? Film. Okay, table name, film. Okay, and the reference I want to be F1 for uh, this column and this column. Okay, F1 for this title, and then I'll say join film table with F2 reference. Okay, then on which table? On F1 dot, okay, I'm taking a reference F1 dot rental underscore rate equals F2 dot rental rate. Okay, F2, F1 and F2, because they see, if you see the rental rate is from the same table and the title is also from the same table. Okay, so I'm querying here. Okay, and I can say, and I have something called film ID pk. Okay, and I can also say f1 dot film underscore id equals f2 dot film film. Okay, now let me run just a basic one first. Inner join, self join. Okay, within the same table, and let's see if it is fetching or not. Okay, now we are getting how many? 33,000, 3,506 records. Okay, so what we are doing here is, now you see here. Okay, this is the film one. Okay, and this is film 2. You can see here the reference. Okay, you have to see the results also. Now film 1 is what? Title, and film 2 is again a title from a same table called film as film 2. Okay, I've added here, and rental rate I'm taking. Okay, now what we are getting here is film table is used twice here. Okay, twice, join twice. F1 and F2 are alias for the same table. Rental rate is compared between rows. Okay, rental rate is compared between rows. Okay, and it avoids duplicate pairs. Okay, now you see, if the movie's film 2 is also same, then it's a duplicate. Here see, chamber Italian, This one is thin sag brush. Okay, and this one is same thing, and here if this both matches, then it's a duplicate. Okay, this way we can pull the information. Self join. Okay, sometimes you have to do a self join also. Okay, and avoids film joining with itself. Okay. Okay, so this is one of the example. Tomorrow what I'll do is I'll show you one more uh, examples, but I don't know why we have staff only with two records. I'll just import again tomorrow one more time the database, and I'll just validate if something is wrong with the data, or maybe in my after while importing I got something lost. Okay, I don't know, but two records I don't recall. It should have more. I mean, when I gave a training for the previous batch, I used to get more, but I don't know why we have just two there. Okay, but anyway, so this is for today, self join. Okay, and tomorrow what we'll do is we will finish full outer join, cross join, natural join, union, and union all. Okay, so you can see here the definition is there. Okay, left join means all the rows from the left and the matching here. You see here the intersection part. So matching on right table. Okay. And this one, right join is all the tables from the right and matching value. Okay. And the definition is given here. The right join clause joins a right table with a left table and returns the rows from the right table that may or may not have matching rows. Okay, may or may not have. Okay, this is very important definitions. Okay, may or may not, same thing, right and left, may or may not. So tomorrow we'll see self join. We have just seen. Yeah, this is the example like a hierarchy. Whenever you have a hierarchy in your system, I mean office, right? Hierarchy directory and all, you can put all this information, who is reporting to who, and and all that information you can pull out here. Only difference is here you have to use inner join. That's it. Okay, inner join or self join. Self join, there is no this thing is there. Okay, so it's like a inner join only, but only thing is what you do is you give the reference here with the what you called the alias name, and with the alias for the same table. Okay, so sometimes which is not possible to get this type of information in Excel. Okay, even if you want to find out the duplicates and other things, you cannot, but in SQL, I mean, any SQL database language, Oracle, Microsoft SQL, MongoDB, same script you have to write, same to same. Okay, so there is no changes. Only thing in SQL you have to end with semicolon. That's the only difference. Okay, if you don't add, it will say missing parameter or something. It will give you the indication also semicolon missing. So you have to add at the statement. Then it will understand this entire statement is one query in SQL. Okay, guys. So tomorrow we will go through the other tables, and then we'll spend some time in learning. Okay. So also tomorrow I'll try to get the other tables. What is the table called? Netflix. Okay, Netflix is a very good database. Okay, so you can work on it. Okay, and then whatever queries that we have written. So only thing is just copy paste and see, change the title. Then you want to change the alias, you can change it there also. Okay, you can say Netflix 1, Netflix 2, whatever the columns are there. Based on that, you can add those changes. Okay, I'll share this for today. Okay, these two, if anybody wants to try practice, they can practice. and then tomorrow we'll continue with our next topics. Okay, you can stop the recording.